Welcome to another show today of Extreme Talk Wrestling. I am your flamboyant host, James McCain, and as always, thank you. If you're out there watching, thank you. You viewers, I love. And even if you hate us, I still love you. So let's get down to business. Sorry it took a while. I thought I was going to do a show right after Raw. Had some things come up, so sorry about that. But anyways, better late than never. So I'm going to talk about today about the first Raw of the new year. Let's start talking about the first match, which was a killer match between Ziggler and Cena. Ziggler took a lot of finishers. Cena, excuse me, took a lot of finishers from Ziggler. Big E interfered. Um, it was a great match. Cena came out victorious. Nice way to kick off Raw. It was about maybe a 25, 30-minute match. Um, Great way to kick off Raw. Go Cena. Anyways, next, let's talk about a few other things that happened on Raw. Did I think it was the best show ever? There's a few things they could have done differently. I would like better, and possibly other people, but it wasn't a bad show. I give it an A minus. Let's talk about the biggest thing that happened on Raw: the Rock Punk showdown. After the grueling match Punk had against Ryback, which was it was a decent match. Shield came out, they interfered. When the lights went out, Shield interfered, causing CM Punk to win the match. What happened was Ryback threw CM Punk on the table, came back and was climbing up the ladder, about to grab the belt till the lights went out. Shield came in, interfered, slammed Ryback on the outside through a table and some steps. Punk comes back in, grabs the title, he wins. He comes back out there, talks some smack. The Rock shows up. They had a little mic battle there for a minute. Some words were spoken. I believe Rock called CM Punk a cookie puss, whatever that is. But and then I like the line that Punk used. I thought it was like, ooh, when I heard that. He said, "Your arms are too short to be wrestling God." I was like, wow. And then Rock came back with a few things, told Punk he was delusional, blah, blah, blah. So it's for certain now it's going to be Punk and The Rock, which everyone pretty much knew, at the Rumble. If you ask me who is my pick, who do I think is going to win, honestly, I don't know. You could ask me that question about 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, I could have told you who would have won, but it's a little unpredictable now, and I'm having a hard time figuring out who's going to be in the main event. Like I said years ago, I could have told you who it was, but I'm baffled. I'm boggled. I have no idea. And other big news for those of you that seen on, I believe it was on WWE.com. Alberto Del Rio is now the new world heavyweight champion. He beat the Big Show in a last man standing match at last night's taping of Friday Night SmackDown, which is taped Tuesday. I heard it was a pretty good match. I can't wait to tune in to actually watch it, see what happened. But back to Raw. I thought it was okay show. I did miss a little bit of it because I was working, but from what I caught, it was pretty decent. There were some decent matches, and there were some things on there that I didn't like. But overall, not a bad show. I didn't look online yet, or I haven't really had time to look at the ratings, but pretty sure it drew big numbers. I know that I did see, however, where the show was like completely sold out like completely sold out, and that hadn't happened in a while because of the Rock being there. that's pretty much it about, I expected maybe a couple. I thought maybe, the Undertaker would show up or something. They have a surprise, but that didn't happen. Source that told me that Shawn Michaels is scheduled to be there in Stone Cold. Man, I think they're holding off for the 20th anniversary episode, which I believe is next Monday. I really have to tune in and watch that. Should be a great show. I think. I think they're gonna bring out all the stops again. Once again, The Rock is scheduled to be on all the Monday Night Raws, all the pay-per-views up till WrestleMania, and then I don't think he's scheduled after WrestleMania. Needless to say, next week should be a real good show as well. Now, I'm going to do a little rendition on today's show, is what I like to call Top 5. I'm going to talk to you about my Top 5, okay? And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to list Top 5 divas. I'm going to list, and this is my opinion now. Yeah, you're based on yours, but this is mine solely on different issues. All right, first is going to be divas. I'll do Top 5 my favorite wrestlers. Top 5 wrestlers of all time that I didn't, not necessarily my favorites, but who I think is the top wrestlers. Now, when I mean wrestlers, I mean guys that are technicians and guys that get on the mat. And also, I'm going to talk about top 5 all around mic skills, wrestling, yada, yada, yada. Then I'll do top 5 tag teams as well. Now, let me start out with top 5 divas. Number 5, Lita. Great, multiple-time WWE Women's Champion. Very, charismatic in her own way. Decent wrestler, women's wrestler. Number 4 would be Chyna. She is even though she's now doing porn, whatever. So I believe Chyna is number 4. Number 3, Gail Kim. Gail Kim is the former WWE's champion and a multiple-time Knockouts champion. Number 2, Trish Stratus, another multiple-time women's champion. One of my favorite divas of all time. Very gorgeous lady. Number 1, this was a hard one, but because of her reigns as WWE Women's Champion, the Fabulous Moolah. She is a legend. She, to me, is an icon and has held the title longer than anyone, and I don't think anyone's ever going to break that record. I think that's pretty safe. All right, my next top 5 tag teams of all time. Number 5, and I'm doing this solely on my favorites. Number 5 would definitely have to be the Road Warriors. The guys were former NWA champions, former WWE champions, former AWA tag team champions. Love the Road Warriors. Hawk Animal, vicious guys, very powerful. When they came out to the ring, you expected someone's going to get hurt. Number 4, and this was a difficult one, but the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys were a very charismatic team, very risk takers. They were very much so risk takers. Loved their aerial moves, their ladder matches at WrestleMania, which are very famous. Great tag team. Number 3, and you can do this guy with anybody, but I chose this tag team because of what they meant to the business and what they did for the business. But Arn Anderson Tully Blanchard. They they were a great tag team. They did a lot of amazing stuff and kind of paved the way for groups, the Four Horsemen, with themselves included. Paved the way for tag teams and groups such as DX and NWO and to come in. They were the first gang of professional wrestling, and as a tag team, they really helped build the sport to even more of what it is. Now, I didn't say entertainment. Yeah, I said sport. Okay, whatever. Now, this is number two, the Dudley Boys. Why the Dudley Boys, you ask? Because they held the tag team titles, what is it, like 20 times or something like that. They've been in the ring with the likes of some great tag teams. They defeated, a lot of great tag teams. But I feel in my mind they are number two. They were, I hate that they got broken up. I guess, TNA figured that everyone's tired of seeing the Dudley Boys. Let's give the younger guys a chance. And then also, these guys probably wanted single careers. But I have nothing bad to say about that tag team. Great tag team, very formidable in their own right, and love watching them wrestle. Love watching them entertain. Any way you want to look at it, great tag team. Number one would have to be the Steiner brothers. Why? Because of what they've done. They're the only team, I believe, if I'm wrong, then comment me and let me know. But I believe they're the only team to ever hold at the same time the WCW tag team titles, New Japan tag team titles, or was it I don't know. It was one of those Japanese, Chinese tag team wrestling belts. Anyways, they held those. It might have been the IWGPA or something like that they held. I believe that's what it was. But anyways, they're the only team to ever do that. And if I'm not mistaken, they had the U.S. tag team titles then. Maybe if I'm wrong, comment me, correct me. But they are a great tag team. They beat the Road Warriors. I don't know if I know them and the Dudleys fought once in TNA. I can't remember who won that match. Once again, comment me if you know, and we'll go from there. All right, that's my top 5 tag teams. Now, top 5 wrestlers. When I mean wrestlers, once again, I mean mat wrestlers, technicians. All right, guys that were kind of more, grapplers type of deal. And this is my opinion. Like I said, number 5 would definitely have to be Shawn Michaels. He's known for his creativity and stuff like that. He's a very speak your mind type of, and it's during the attitude, first part of the attitude era type of guy. But I believe he should be number 5. Number 4, Hulk Hogan. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, number 4 would definitely have to be Bret the Hitman Hart. Excellence of execution. One of my favorite wrestlers, which I'll find out in a minute. And I love Bret. I've watched him. I remember back when I think his first match I ever seen was a battle royal at WrestleMania, and I remember I was very young, but I remember saying, "Wow, he might be pretty good one day." Yeah, I did say that. And yes, I remember that. I've been watching wrestling since I'm 3 years old, so I remember a lot, for the most part. But Hitman Hart, the excellence of execution, coming in at number 4. Number 3, and this was a very hard one, but once again, I base this on wrestling, and I think for his era, he was a very notable guy and a former world champion. But and I'm throwing in a mix here, but Lou Thesz. I watched a few of his matches before, seen this guy, and back then they didn't have the mics, talk like they did now. It was more wrestling. But yeah, definitely got to say that he is a great former NWA World Champion, and he was a very sound technician on that mat. Watching some of his matches, love the guy. Great work ethic, great competitor during his era, and got to go down as one of the all-time greats. Number two. Number two would have to be Kurt Angle. Why not? Kurt Angle is a great technician on that mat. A suplex machine. Very notable for his submissions. He gets on that mat, and coming from his background as a former high school wrestler and a college wrestler, and then going on to win the Olympics, and then coming in wrestling, he kind of kinged that into his repertoire, and love watching Kurt Angle wrestle. He's not like the Kurt Angle he was in the WWE or the first part of TNA. I think injuries are kind of taking their toll on him, and his neck's probably as well. But Kurt Angle, number two. Number one, was there any doubt? Workhorse of the century, Mr. Nature Boy Ric Flair. Rick is Rick. Rick would get on that mat and he could wrestle with the best of them. He was the dirtiest player of the game, but don't take away from the fact that the guy could get on the mat and he could wrestle, and he'd wrestle you down. He had great matches with Ricky the Dragon, and man, when he would get on that mat and he would go. Very sound in his game as well on the mat. Some of his great matches he had with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which Ricky would probably make no top 10, but I haven't really thought about it doing a whole top 10. But him and Ricky had great matches. Those that I believe it was Chi-Town Heat or Chi-Town Rumble. But yeah, Ric Flair definitely, in my opinion, in the top one guy for my picks of top wrestler. In the background there, you see my sponsor, Mr. Big Sexy McInville there.
We're gonna get extreme.
That's right. All right, next, let's go with top 5 favorite all around. And these are guys that I did as not just wrestlers, but I included a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of mic skills, look, their popularity, and what they did for the sport. Number 5 would definitely have to be Undertaker. Why Undertaker, you want to ask? Undefeated at WrestleMania. Really did a lot for the business, did a lot for WWE. Man, I love watching the guys' matches. Want to keep, part of the Attitude Era. So Undertaker, number 5. Number 4 would definitely have to be Triple H. Triple H, some say wouldn't be where he's at. He hadn't met Stephanie and started with that, blah, blah, blah. Think what you want to, but there's another guy. He is like, 12-time world champion. The Game was another guy that was part of the Attitude Era, and that did a lot for this business. And whenever he takes over for Vince, I think he'll do a great job. Number 3, Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's the guy that was really the big key of the success of the Attitude Era and the WWE during that time frame. I tell you what, Stone Cold come out there, raise hell on Mondays nights, and he had me tuned in. I would not move. I flip back and forth during the commercials to watch, WCW, of course, during the Monday Night Wars. But Stone Cold, he go out there, drink some beer, whoop some ass. That's why I'm putting him on number 3. Also, he's a great wrestler. And he would get down on the mat. I remember matches that he had. People questioned his wrestling ability. The guy got in the ring. He proved to you that he was a wrestler. Once again, great mic skills, great all around, great look. Really, helped WWE during that time frame to win the Monday Night Wars. Number 2, Hulk Hogan. You asked me why Hulk Hogan. Well, basically because the fact is I'm going as a all around. I'm not just going as a wrestler standpoint. However, I did watch some early part of Hogan's career against Antonio Inoki and some other matches that he had where the wrestling wasn't really that bad. But needless to say, Hulk had some decent mic skills. Wasn't the greatest, but they were decent. Hulk had the look. He changed the business as a whole. He paved the way for guys like The Rock and several other guys to make movies and not be one-dimensional. Hulk Hogan did a lot for the business, not only for the WWE/WWF, but for a whole. Hulk Hogan, number 2. Number 1, definitely got to say Ric Flair. Why? Another guy that did a lot for the business. Ric Flair, was chosen. I remember watching a video and they said they had to choose a champion, a guy that would carry the NWA flag. Flair did that. Flair put asses in seats, bar none. Great wrestler, excellent mic skills, good look, all around total package. No point, Lex. Ric Flair, the man. In my opinion, Ric Flair will go down as all-time great. When that guy dies, laugh at me if you want to, but I will cry. Yes, I said it. All right, now let's do my top favorites. These are my top 5 favorites who I like all around. Okay, number 5, The Undertaker. He made the list for top 5 all around without not putting my input into it, but just putting everything into it. The Undertaker, number 5. Number 4, I would have to say John Cena. You can hate on me if you want to, but Cena is the man. He's carrying the company. I've seen a lot of his matches, and I was kind of hating on Cena for a while, but the guy earned my respect with some of these matches he's had, and they've been pretty good. Whether you agree with me, whatever, I don't care. The guy earned my respect. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. Okay. Number 3, Hulk Hogan. As a kid, yes, I said my prayers, took the vitamins, all that good stuff. Yes, I know that's not, it's away from extreme, but yes, Hulk Hogan coming in number 3. Number 2, Ric Flair. Rick is Rick. Mic skills, wrestling ability, he possesses it all. And that's why I chose him for number 2. I love watching the guys. I watch his matches all the time. So if I'm bored, nothing to do during the week, I will pop in a DVD of Ric Flair and watch him wrestle. Number 1, the Stinger. You can ask any of my friends, any one of them. I love the Stinger. The one thing I think to separate him from going down as the greatest of all time, in my opinion, is going to the WWE. Sting went to the WWE. He could have some matches against some guys like Cena, Triple H, possibly The Undertaker, whoever. I would love to see Sting go finish his career out before it's too late in the WWE. I love the guy's persona. Everything he does, he moves on the ring. He's so agile to be in his early 50s. I mean, he is my all-time favorite. I would just, I would just love if he went to the WWE, finish out with one last year, had some great matches, and then called it it. Uh, I do know that Vince has already said that he's welcome to the Hall of Fame and all, so whether that'll happen one day, who knows? But Sting, if you're out there listening, sign with Vince, okay? Just kidding. But seriously, I want to wrap this show up. I just wanted to go over some things that happened on Raw. Finding out Alberto Del Rio won at the SmackDown taping, beating the Big Show for the world title in a last man standing match. Spoiler alert! Sorry. Yeah, that was a spoiler alert. Yes, it was. Anyways, needless to say, y'all guys have a great night. On my next show, I have a friend of mine who is a independent wrestler. He's going to come out here and do a show. I'm going to let him introduce himself, talk to you guys about his career and how the wrestling standpoint is from a wrestler's point of view. How things work and whatnot, and talk about some of his matches and go from there. But I just want to. Oh, also, I noticed something too. I want to talk about this real quick. During that match, during the mic session at the end of Raw with CM Punk and The Rock, I noticed a little bit more edgier thing. It kind of took me back to the Attitude Era, listening to The Rock and listening to Cena, and that whole segment was really good. I could sit there and watch those two guys talk. Two of the best mic guys on the mic, going one on one. It's almost watching, like watching a Ric Flair match against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. It's that damn good. And when Punk stood up to The Rock after The Rock was talking, and he's told The Rock to kick your ass, and he said, "Your arms are too short to be wrestling God." I was like blown away. I had goosebumps. And Rock coming back and calling Punk, what was it, Cookie Puss? Yeah, Cookie Puss or something like that. Funny stuff. That took me back to the Attitude Era. But hopefully Raw will get a little bit edgier and possibly get a little extreme. No point intended. But that's all for right now. Next show, we will have my best friend on here, Justin Fireball Whitaker. Do a little interview, let him get the mic, let him talk, and let him tell you how things are, in a view of a wrestler's standpoint. Anyway, that's all for right now. To the next edition of Extreme Talk Wrestling. Just remember, if you watch any other talk show out there, you're just watching the same old thing. But when you watch Extreme Talk Wrestling, you're watching something new. You're watching something extreme. And I'm calling out all you talk shows out there. Whether you're Jeff Meacham, NoDQ.com, we're taking over. And you're damn right. We're fucking extreme. Till next time.